Hi, I'm Tim Winter, Gabelli Utilities Fund Portfolio Manager and longtime utility analyst. Amongst all the chaos and uncertainty in the world, I wanted to take a minute to highlight utility stocks. The S&P Utility Index has declined about 5% since Liberation Day, or April 2nd, versus a 7% decline for the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq. The pullback, although less than the market, has raised some questions as to why the defensive sector has declined. But let's step back and take a look at a bigger picture. Utilities had outperformed by about 10% through April 2nd, year to date through April 2nd, and they're currently up about 1% year to date versus a 10% decline for the S&P 500 and a 15% decline in the Nasdaq. And many of the more regulated utilities are up 10 to 20% year to date, including Wisconsin Energy, American Electric Power, National Fuel Gas. Regulated utilities are monopolies with probably a manageable impact from tariffs. Higher costs can be passed on in rate cases. Also, regulated utility sales are less sensitive to recessions because primarily they have a large residential and commercial customer base, and the industrial base, which is subject to economic cycles, is the lowest margin customer. Even in a recession, we're experiencing in the U.S. a lot of manufacturing onshoring and a lot of large data center loads that are being built and are going to come online over the next couple of years. So that's going to all lead to higher electric demand. So the reason for the recent pullback has more to do with the 10-year Treasury, which rose from under 4% to nearly 4.5% in just a few days, because higher interest rates do normally negatively impact utility stocks because they raise the cost of capital. But the bottom line is that we are comfortable with the 5 to 7% and 6 to 8% growth rate that most utilities are targeting and believe the defensive characteristics will hold up over time. Thank you.
Tim Winter is a portfolio manager at Gabelli Funds. This podcast is an excerpt from Gabelli TV that appeared on April 11, 2025. GAMCO is providing these links as a matter of general information. We do not intend for these links to be a complete description of any security or company, nor is it a research report with respect to any of the companies mentioned herein. As of December 31, 2024, affiliates of GAMCO Investors Incorporated beneficially own 4.51% of National Fuel Gas and less than 1% of all other companies mentioned. The analyst's views are subject to change at any time based on market and other conditions. The information in this posting represents the opinions of the analyst and is not intended to be a forecast of future events, a guarantee of future results, or investment advice. Views expressed are those of the analyst and may differ from those of other GAMCO officers, analysts, other employees, or of the firm as a whole. Because the investment personnel at GAMCO and our affiliates make individual investment decisions with respect to the client accounts that they manage, these accounts may have transactions inconsistent with the information contained in this posting. Certain GAMCO personnel may know the substance of the posting prior to its posting. This webcast is not an offer to sell any security, nor is it a solicitation of an offer to buy any security. Stocks are subject to market, economic, and business risks that cause their prices to fluctuate. When you sell shares, they may be worth less than what you paid for them. For more information, a prospectus, or summary prospectus, visit our website at www.gabelli.com or call 800-GABELLI or 800-422-3554-914, 921-5100 fax, 914-921-5118 info@gabelli.com.